Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome to another edition. We got Lala. Welcome, Lala. And Gene Hudson. Roger Blair. And Jennifer. I'm not going to say it, Jennifer, but you know what's going through my mind. And Crystal. Welcome, Crystal. Nice to have everybody as they're sliding in. Hopefully everybody's having a great Monday. Yeah, and Mr. Derek Galloway, hello there. And Lorna, we can't forget about Lorna there. So what's going on, Peter and Angela? How are you all doing?
Busy, very busy. And yourselves?
You know, same old, same old. So yeah, sorry about the other day. But I'm glad you reached out, and I'm glad you're going to participate during the anniversary filming. Hello, Nana. Nice to have you there. Let's give everybody an Aussie Sue. So let's give everybody a warm welcome of applause here. And thank you for tuning in as everybody's still sliding in tonight. So everybody doing okay casting?
Yeah.
So what about you, Angela? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. From Northern Kentucky live. Don't forget to check out our affiliates down there in the comment sections and say hello to them. Make sure. And if you don't know what we have, check them out. They got some good stuff. You may be surprised. And if you need anything, let us know. Eric, I may have a coupon or something you could use towards a purchase. So, yes. So, what's new with you guys?
Same
Yes.
old, same old. Just, trying to work through stuff. What's new with
Yeah.
you, Peter?
Getting readings, thank God. I need them, and things are going well. I'm working with the master guides, and I'm trying to figure out what's going on with them. I received some information this week that was from the guides. It's not from me, but the guides were telling me what is going on internationally, that there's a very good chance that we will be having our former president elected back into the White House. So some people are thrilled about that and other people aren't.
Well, what do you think, Colleen Yates? Welcome to the show. She's from Birmingham, UK. So, yes, we'll get to you here shortly. Absolutely, Colleen. Welcome to the show. That's interesting.
Yes.
So, yeah, Mr. Smith, welcome. So, what we got cooking tonight, ladies and gentlemen?
Well, one of my wonderful friends we have had on before, and Joanna is such a incredibly gifted, intuitive and communicator and connecting with animals and nature and healing and teaching that I really felt, considering we're heading into the holiday times, that I would contact her. She's a very, very busy woman, doing a lot of fairs and teaching and connecting with many people, mutual friends, Lois Martin, who's a numerologist that we're going to have on the program in the future. And I was fortunate enough to contact Joanna Garfey McNally, and she was so excited that she said, I'd love to come back on the program. So tonight, I am absolutely thrilled, delighted, elated to have one of my closest friends as a guest on our program again. So welcome, Joanna.
Joanna, come on down. Welcome.
Welcome.
Hi. Thank you, thank you. Thank you again. Hello, Angela.
Hey, how are you,
Good to
darling?
see you. I'm good, I'm good. The usual. I had a few tasks like everybody else does, and I was telling Grizzly earlier that this person was taking an IV, right? So she decides that she's going to take it in the. I have a bruise on my, literally that big, and it was strange because the nurse goes, "Who did that?" Here's this black and blue mark. I go, "She did it. It's the woman with the dark glasses."
I mean,
I said, "Oh my
it's
God,
bad looking bruise. I mean, they did a number on her arm.
I tell you,
So
I know I was showing bad, really bad, but
Wow.
I don't. How as you get older, it takes a little bit longer to heal. So it should be interesting how long this sucker, for lack of a better word, is going to take. But
Yes.
no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't have any complaints. It's each day I look at it as a lesson. What am I learning today? What's going on? What should I do to help people? So each day I do a little extra or try to, and I have a house full over here anyway between the animals and everybody else. So it keeps me busy. And the
right,
holidays coming up, seeing the
exactly.
grandkids, all 8 of them.
Well, then,
Wow.
But I am doing as as Peter said, we have a big psychic craft fair. Well, it's a craft fair and a psychic fair at the Gilboa Museum. It's Sunday, the 12th. And if anyone is up here, upstate New York, in Gilboa, New York, it's from 11 to 4 o'clock at the wonderful historical Gilboa Museum.
Oh,
As a
Interesting.
matter of fact, it was flooded out. It was totally gone several years ago. The dam broke and it was just gone. I mean, the whole was gone, and they built it, back up. It's beautiful, beautiful space, and the museum's amazing. So
wow.
it's great.
Wow.
So that's fun. So this time of the month, sometimes up here, especially to travel, so a lot of readings are done on phone or FaceTime or in the computer, and ways like that. So we're scheduling ahead of time because we don't really know how much of it gets out because people come from all over. They actually
Right.
come from Long Island to come upstate, and that's a good drive. So I appreciate it.
Yes. Wow.
Other than that,
So Eric just popped
Peter,
a
one day I
question
have to
in
come
for you
visit you.
guys.
Yes.
And he wants to know can you all inform him what remote viewing is? That's Eric's question.
Remote viewing means it's nothing more than ESP, extrasensory perception. And when scientists were studying, there were two scientists out at Stanford Research Institute in the early 70s, and they were studying ESP. And being scientists, they like to label things, but they were studying people who had psychic abilities, and they were actually looking at Chinese children. I guess there were a lot of the Chinese were doing, they were testing children who had precognition. So when the children would report, if you translated in Chinese into English, what they were saying is, I remotely view, or I view remotely. And that's how they got the word remote viewing. But it's nothing more than ESP, extrasensory perception.
Interesting. There you go, Eric. There's your definition. Is he didn't know. He was like, well, isn't it an out-of-body experience?
No, out of body's out of body. You go out of body. Remote viewing is, like there's protocols to remote viewing. Everybody thinks it's there's a methodology to remote viewing. You can do any methodology. They put a picture in an envelope, access and describe the picture in the envelope. And it's not, anybody's going to use any methodology they can to try to get access to describe the picture.
Yeah.
And it's not the methodology, it's the protocol. Like, in other words, if I say I have a picture in this envelope and it's of the outdoors, but there's no people in there, there's no animals in there, and it's not of the ocean, it's like you're leading the people into what the picture could be. So so what you try to do is to have clean protocols so you don't lead the psychic or the remote viewer to the answer.
Ah,
fascinating.
Okay. Yes. Absolutely.
And usually in the protocol, the remote viewer comes out and will verbally say what they got, and then what they will do is write a report and sketch, and then they get immediate feedback, and that's very important because that's how you learn. They make sure that you see, this is the picture in the envelope, and then did I get it or not get it? It's immediate feedback.
Gotcha. That makes a lot of sense. There you go,
I had
Eric.
an experience. It's interesting. You should talk about out of the body. Someone had said to me that they were missing something. And I says, okay. And I says, okay, is there such and such and such in their house? They said yes. And I says, okay, on the right-hand side. And I turned around and I instantly said, I'm in the house.
That's out of body.
It's like, right, yeah. I said, I am in the house. I'm looking in the house. This is exactly what it looks like. And, you're right. It's just out of body. And it's, sometimes I really find it like exciting when somebody asks me something like that, because it's like, I just astral travel was probably another word for it. I just go, shoop, and it's like instantaneous. It's like you're just right there.
Yeah, that's
It's
out
like
of
when you're doing a
body.
reading, it's like you're right there. Yeah. It's out of
And
body.
I mean, and I guess if somebody
Like you know
asked
what-
you like, what's the picture in the envelope, and you went out of body and looked, I mean, I guess that would be remote viewing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now,
Okay.
Denise says, Angela, on
Yeah.
remote viewing, don't they use coordinates and etc.?
You can. They, you know what? They used to call it coordinate remote viewing because they did fake coordinates.
Aha.
They wouldn't do real coordinates because some people were imagery analysts and they knew coordinates. I mean, I work with maps as an intel analyst in my areas of the world. I mean, you almost know it. So it was fake coordinates. They called that coordinate remote viewing. I just would go, project, envelope 1, envelope 2, envelope B, envelope C. But the big thing, coordinate, it's no big deal. However you want to, I have a brown envelope. What's the picture in there? I have a purple envelope. However you want to do it. I never got wrapped around coordinates, but a lot of people did.
It sounds like somebody is going into
Do you
the
think?
twilight
Do you
zone.
think, Angela? I have a question. Do you think people get stuck on certain things like that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Grizzly.
Oh, yeah, they do. I mean, yeah, because it was called coordinate remote viewing because it was a methodology that, our people we had very high level people in government, and they had to go to Congress and ask for money. And the way, and there was a giggle fat. Oh, yeah, there comes the psychics. Oh, they need their money. Ha, ha, ha. Well, finally, what our people did, or they went to Stanford Research Institute and they said, draft up something that makes it look like whatever you're doing is more technical in nature, because they're going to Congress to ask for money and they don't want to sound like they're these new age people.
Right.
So they had a guy on staff. His name was Ingo Swann. He was a psychic that SRI, the Stanford Research Institute, was using. So they went to Ingo and they said, Ingo, how do you do what you do? Or, write it up or something. Coordinates photo depends on the view. CRV, RV depends on the tasker. The coordinates were used. No, the coordinates were used for training sites too. So what they did is they used the psychic Ingo Swann, and they said, Ingo, how do you do what you do? So he just did something. He wrote something up and he called it coordinate remote viewing, and he used fake coordinates. So he wrote down on paper how it, like stages, you go through different stages to get the answer. Well, when you wrap it up and you make it like a manual and you present that to Congress, it digests better with people. And they're telling, the mind is doing this. Well, it's not the mind. I mean, you could be getting answers from angels or something. So they made it sound this was a mental ability. We have this coordinate remote viewing. We're training in it. We have a training manual. And if you know anything about the military, they love to train. So it made it very nice. We wrapped it up we put it in a nice bow and we sold it. Now, so that's how coordinate remote viewing came about, and everybody in the military used it. They loved it. Well, prior to coordinate remote viewing, people were using extended remote viewing, which was nothing more than more or less kind of going into a meditative state and trying to pull up imagery to find out what the picture in the envelope. It was sort of like the Silva mind control method. If you ever read Dr. Silva's book,
yes,
he always tells you, turn on the television. What do you see? Like your mind, you pretend you're watching television and you turn it on and then you see the picture. So that's how coordinate remote viewing came. It was they made a big deal out of it, but there was no big deal out of it. The people who were really psychic never used coordinate remote viewing. Joe McMonagle never used it. But it was just something to latch on to.
Makes sense.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
It was just something to latch on to. That's all it was.
I wanted to, I was going to share this with everybody tonight. On Friday, I was invited to, the woman's name is Judy Goodman, and she's a very highly enlightened soul. And I was invited by one of her friends to join her group. And there aren't too many people that I really am impressed with in the psychic world. I'm impressed with the people who are on tonight, obviously. But we got together and we had people from all over the world. And she was channeling angels from different countries. And the information that was disseminated was just unbelievable. She discussed our contracts with the angels and God and Jesus before we even decide to be
here.
born into this life. And somebody asked her who she was in a previous life. And she said, hold on to your seats. And she said, I was Moses. And she proceeded to talk about things like remote viewing, and she went in to talk about intuitive healers. It was absolutely fascinating. And I learned we have 144,000 master guides from the third dimension, which we are in right now, up to the seventh dimension. And all the guides are coming back to the earth in order to prevent us from making the same mistake of self-destruction on this planet. So many people were asking her, and we were dealing with the oracles, we were dealing with the Lemurian societies, we were dealing with Pleiades, and it was so fascinating because many people from the biblical times, including Jesus and Mother Mary and Solomon, a lot of souls are now returning. And they're picking certain individuals to come back to incarnate. And also, I don't know if everybody's familiar with soul transference channeling, where you leave your body, you go into the death tunnel, and whatever soul wants to connect with society will take over your body for an hour. It sounds ominous and it sounds strange, but I've gone through these. And on Friday, she was just talking about how we collectively, if we all connect with one another on podcasts that we're doing now, and we educate people, and as examples of healers that we are, that we can change the direction of where we are going. So I felt very enlightened Friday, and she visited each one of us, and her name is Judy Goodman. She really is quite incredible. But I'm myself having people contact me now because does anybody know that Saturn just went direct in Pisces, where our restrictions are now being lifted? Saturn was holding us all back, and the retrogrades are coming to an end. And come May, and I know it's a little ways off, come May, Jupiter is going from Taurus, which is a fixed sign, into the sign of Gemini. And more Geminis that I'm connecting with are calling, and they're saying, what's going on with the energy shift? Well, we're going into a much more positive cycle. In actuality, Angela is going to be going through her Jupiter return come May, which is great for animation, great for writing. It's going to aspect you, Grizzly, and Joanna. So we're coming out of very, very difficult times. And it's a period that we can really look forward to. So I just wanted to interject that tonight.
Well, thank you. But whenever
It's
you
very
say
interesting.
when people leave their body and allow somebody to come in, is that just for channeling purposes, but then they come back?
They leave their body and they go back. Well, they leave their body, they go into the death tunnel. And then after an hour, they come out of the death tunnel and the spiritual master soul leaves their body and it goes back to the seventh dimension.
Because nobody can come in and stay in. That's no.
You can't come in. In fact, one of my master guides is here tonight. I studied with him years ago. He died 2,000 years ago, and he's giving information tonight. But he just said to me, what a wonderful connection you all have on the show. And he's telling me, Joanna, you're a very old soul. God, you've been here many, many lives with your healing and your teaching. Angela, same thing. Grizzly, you coordinated. He's talking to me about all the things you did in your past life, helping people, dealing with people that were criminals, helping them overcome their criminal tendencies. You were a group leader. You were a shaman from a past life. So we each have our own niche that we are bringing back into this life. But the guides are very excited about what's about to unfold and happen.
Oh, I think Grizzly was a healer in many.
No, go ahead. I almost debate some of it, Peter, not all of it. Trust me, I understand where it's coming from, every bit of that, of what they're saying.
Yeah.
But I also wonder whether or not these master souls connect so strongly with the individual that that's also how they come through, other than coming through again in a human form. I mean, if you're talking about as many as you're talking about, in other words, you hear what I'm saying? So in other words, I think there's so many different ways that they could do it. Yeah. The new children that are coming in, the children that are being born, they're high spiritual souls.
Well, these are indigo children. These are a lot of them are indigo. But it was funny, Joanna, because years ago, my girlfriend at that time introduced me to a woman who was a soul transference channeler. And I didn't believe it. And I sat in the living room and she said, do you have any questions? I said, no. She sat in a lotus position. In 15 minutes, she was this demure little woman. In 15 minutes, the muscles were getting bigger on her arms. Her face was filling out. She couldn't have faked it. And I realized and I said, oh my God. And her voice
changes.
Completely changed. And Hartma came in and Hartma said to me, it is, be as it is in Hinduism, the language. He started speaking to me and giving me information nobody knew about me. And an hour later, just disseminating this, he said, I've got to leave because the body is very tired. As soon as he left, her body went back to its original form. So what they're telling me now, they're saying they don't always come back in the body. They sometimes come back and they speak to us on an auditory level, or they come through the indigo, the top of the head, the chakra. So you're right about what you're saying.
Yeah, because they pop in, they pop out. They pop in and out from that area.
Right. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Correct. So
I mean, I've been told when I teach, my face changes. I've been told that when I teach, you can see it's somebody else talking. You can see definitely. I've been told that when I'm teaching. Yeah.
Wow. That's
Fascinating, Peter.
extraordinary. It is fascinating. But we are all, from a spiritual point of view, we are all going to, they're connecting with us. They're trying to educate us, and they're trying to bring us from the third dimension to the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh. On the seventh level, we blend with the universal consciousness or God. That's what they just said. So they just asked me to bring this up, but they just said to me, we have worked all of us together have worked together in many, many lifetimes. So I'm getting a clap. We've all done it. We've all been teachers. We've been healers. So it's an amazing process. Really is.
Peter, Denise
Yes.
says, I was told I was an indigo child. Can you explain what that means, please?
Well, the indigo child, to me, are very heightened. They're very evolved souls. From, I want to say, I've been shown these are guides that have lived many, many lifetimes. And Joanna can also add to this. They are very gifted souls with healing ability. They are teachers. They are master souls. And the indigo children are now being reborn. They're coming back in to save us and our planet. And they're a group. It's a very large group. I've met indigo children, and they also have, you can tell they by the look, they have certain facial features, and their eyes are very different than the average person. I'm sure you've dealt with them, Joanna. Do you want to add to that?
They also have a different walk.
They do
Their
have a
walk
different
is
walk.
fascinating. They float. They float when they walk. They're very
Yes.
light, I've noticed. Because you can see them. They're just they just float. It's like as if they're on Earth, but they're not on Earth. So, I mean, like we know that we're humans, in the spiritual bodies. They will know that later on. Obviously, as a child, they're part of that God consciousness anyway. But you can see it. I mean, they just kind of like a ballerina. They just kind of like float when they walk. It's amazing
they do
to watch.
float.
And they're sometimes on their toes, and they just very, very light.
They're light.
So their energy is much different. And you're right, their eyes, they're amazing.
Their eyes are different.
And I have grandchildren.
Yes.
That are indigo. I have a grandson, and he's definitely, and now to try to get through his parents is going to be another thing. But I try. I really try.
You do try.
When you have children that don't, it's hard.
Yeah. I have an appointment because I couldn't. I had to take it tonight. Somebody's in a crisis. So, Joanna, I am thrilled that you joined us. And I'm going to hand the show over to the three of you. I will talk to you during the week, but I have a client that is facing self-destruction. So I need to be there for them because I've known them for years. So my love to everybody. If you want to do readings, and thank you, Joanna, for coming on.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you.
Yes. And go on with the show, and I will see you. I'll talk to you during the week.
All right. Thank you, Peter.
Bye-bye. Nice seeing you.
Bye-bye.
Good night, Peter.
All right. Good night,
Bye.
Peter. All right. So let's see here. Let's see. Somebody fired off a question for you here, Joanne. And I don't know where it went to. Hold on there, Kyle. Let me go back to it. Hello. If I can ask, it's right here. There's no picture, though. What is to come for me in my career in life? My name is Kyle, by the way, because the name I'm using is difficult to pronounce.
Could you say that again?
His name is
They're
Kyle,
asking if they can.
and he wants to know about his career in life.
Oh, I see it. Okay. All right. Hmm. Well, what I'm picking up right now is he's not sure whether or not he should go into the direction he has. How do I put this into words? All right. He has an opportunity to make a change. And in order for him to do that, he's going to have to go to school because he's worried about the fact that he might not have the money or whatever, but he's going to be able to find a job. I know this sounds confusing right now, only because I'm picking up a lot of things with his career. So I'm trying to get it all into some kind of sentence that makes sense. His career is changing. He needs to change his career. He needs to not be afraid to go ahead, basically speaking, just to be right on, to go ahead with what he wants to do. And don't let anybody stop him from doing that. And right now I feel like as if he just stops himself or other people around him don't think he's able to do it, or he doesn't think he's financially able to do it, but he's going to have the opportunity to do it. He really needs to take that leap. And in order to do that, I say that right in the beginning of the new year, so he has to has to look now to keep his ears and his eyes open, because it's going to come to him. Somebody's going to say something, and they're just going to give him that extra push. And that's what I'm picking up. He just needs to do it.
I feel he
doesn't really like who he's working now. Just make the move. Go ahead, Angela. I'm sorry.
I feel he can be very organized. I feel that he can be very organized. He can keep things in order.
Yeah. He just has to do it. He has to go ahead.
Nilda says, I was wondering if you can tell me who knocked over my dishes and called my name out a few days ago. Thank you. Love you, Joanna.
I could kid around with you, Nilda, and say, only you, Nilda. You know, I'm getting a gentleman, an older gentleman. So I don't know if it was your father. You must have been doing something. It has to do with your mom. They want you to watch your mom more. Everything is okay, but just watch a little bit more. Yeah, it's definitely your dad. It's either your dad or your mom's, your grandfather, your mom's dad. That's who called. That's what I'm getting. Yeah, so it was like, come on, attention. Wake up. You must have been slacking a little bit there, Nilda. But I love you.
Interesting. Angela, what do you get?
I feel like it, I don't know if it was a male or female that knocked over the dishes, but it concerned a female. So I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's the mother's. Yeah. So it's the dad.
She says, yes, my dad.
Okay. But the concern was for a female.
Concerned over his yeah.
She's laughing. Never, Joanna. Never. And Kyle just came back to give you some information. He said, yes, I get you. I think the workplace I'm now has something weird going on. Me and my partner have a lot going on. It's got me a little stressing out some. So, and I'll tell you, Kyle, in dealing with people with abilities, and the people that I'm working with and talk to, and they will call me up, be like, Grizzly, are you okay? Relax, take a breath. Everything's going to be fine. I'm like, I love it when you guys do that to me. What are you stressing over? It's okay. Life's going to get better. So, but you all crack me up. So it's amazing to see people that you don't know to give you some validation, right? Because,
Yes, I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate it a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure Angela
does. Because when
too.
I went on that that spiritual journey, and when I didn't believe in people that have abilities, I went to debunk them. Instead, I found the light. So, any other questions, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen?
I had a I think I mentioned it once before when I was first on. You wanted me to skeptic. I'm going to question everything. It's like before I'm going to question if I'm going to see precipitation on silk, if I'm going to see a floating trumpet seance. It's like I'm looking all around that room. There has to be a trick here someplace. And then when you
Right.
realize, but that wasn't a trick. Oh my gosh, how did But I still always keep that little, all right, let me see now. Um,
So he's like, Kyle just said, I just hope I can pull it out of the hat. And yes, the spiritual side has changed me or changed my life immensely. And yes. And we have a question here. Lorna, do you see any changes in my
things.
work life and family members' health? I'm caring for a parent and working full time, and I just don't feel like I'm able to do this long term.
One thing you have to remember when it comes to taking care of parents and working full time, you need to take care of yourself. I'm Part of me feels like as if you want to take on the whole responsibility yourself. You don't need to. Okay. Um, Sit back. You have in about 2 weeks when we have changes of I think a new moon is coming up, what have you. You have the ability. Ask others. Don't feel like as if you're alone. All right, because you're not going to be able to help your family members. If you're not healthy and if you're emotionally not healthy, it's going to affect your family members. All right.
That is correct.
So just reach out. You could do it. You're going to be able to do it. You just have to research just a little bit more and don't be afraid to do it. You need to do for yourself and then you'll be able to do for them. All right. But it'll work out. Just give yourself those few breaths and just look into opportunities. If they're older, there's, oh my gosh, so many services out there to help you that don't have to cost you any money if that's a concern.
Or Vivian Powell. Hey, Angela, can you tell me if I made the right decision regarding my job here in the UK?
Okay, and did you move there from the United States?
No, she lives there.
She lives there. Okay.
Welcome, Lorna. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I think that she did. It's going to be maybe she doesn't feel victorious, but she will. I feel like it's a time of I feel like it's going to give her growth. It's going to give her expansion. It's going to have some type of healing effect on her. And it's going to, I don't know, working with groups, maybe working with a new group. I feel it just offers new beginnings, learning, expansion, eventually more money. But yes, and so don't doubt it. It's hard. I mean, sometimes it's just hard to change jobs or go into a new environment. But I think she did make the right decision. There's something expansive about it, very expansive. If it's not there yet, it will come. She may be there to get her onto another job, but yes, I feel she's where she should be. If that helps, ask her if that helped.
Powell, Vivian Powell. Did that help you out at all? And Joanna, did you have anything to add to that?
Well, I have to agree with Angela. I also feel that Vivian, you sometimes hold yourself back when an opportunity appears. Please take that opportunity, like Angela is saying. Don't be afraid that you're not going to get it, or like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm able to do that job. I have to agree with Angela. There's definitely an expansion there. Just take the leap. Take the leap. That's the one thing that people fear. Yeah, take the leap.
Hey, thank you, she says. I had 2 minor heart attacks due to my previous job due to stress. Thank you, dear. Hands
Okay,
crossed.
but you're learning. But it's like I think you're very intelligent. I think you're very bright. You have a lot of head energy. When that happens, you will take on stress or you'll think too much. So it's sort of like if you can meditate, because the energy has to go all through your body to balance you out. It just can't be sitting up there in the head. So think blue. Dress in blue, think blue. It'll bring you peace. Think green, it'll put you in balance.
That is correct. Those colors do work. All day. Hi there. Do you see international relocation from America working for me? If so, can I make it happen?
Let me look at my cards. I'm picking up the February, March time period. I'm picking up 4 months.
Interesting. My comment would have been not right now. Definitely not right now. But I couldn't give him a time. Thank you, Angela.
I just got 4 months. Maybe 4 months. Maybe, I don't know. I just got 4 months.
I think within 6.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It'll happen.
Yes.
It's like they say, release it and it'll come to you. So just let it go. Aim for what it is that you're looking for. Look into it. Make sure all your, as a good friend of mine says, your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted, and then go ahead.
Any other questions or anybody wants to ask while we're here?
Where does she want to relocate to? Something exotic? Where does she want to relocate to? Someplace exotic?
Let's see what the response is on that one.
UK.
Okay.
Or France.
Okay.
Interesting.
UK. I say UK.
Yeah.
Kyle's like, hey, I want to slide another one in real quick. Are we going to have a child? Uh-oh. Last time somebody got read, they're like, what? I never forget that one. And you know what? The tree did
I'm looking
bear
at a year down the road. I'm looking at a year down the road. Too many things in the way right now. What are you getting, Angela?
Hold on.
Gosh, I wish
I'm
I could
just
remember
doing a
what
yes and a
episode that
no.
was on.
All right. Not now.
I thought a transition. Yeah, I do. A transition coming, but not now.
Kathy A., where do you see my son Nicholas, age 22's future? Yeah, Gene, I think that was Rebecca's daughter. I didn't want to call out any names on that one, but that was pretty wild on that show, wasn't it?
Is Nicholas looking for a job? I feel new work, new love.
Hmm.
But
Interesting.
he has some type of capability. He has a skill or something behind him that he's going to be able to use.
Interesting. Yes, he is.
What did I say? What I don't remember. I can't remember.
Yeah.
What did I just say?
I
Oh, you
wasn't
said
paying
that
attention. I
something
was
with his
laughing about the
capability.
daughter.
Yeah.
He is a computer baby.
Computer.
So
I think he's going to develop some things. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting him being able to design something.
and he's currently looking for a job. Yes, he is.
If he just does IT, I think he'll be bored with that. He could go beyond that. He's very talented.
Inventive. He has an inventive.
Yeah,
type
he has
mind.
it the left brain there. He really digs into it. So that's why if he's just doing IT, answering questions and helping people out, it's going to be too boring for him. He's too creative. He's got to create a lot of creative abilities. So if he starts out with that, that's fine, but it's not going to last long.
She says that he gets very bored quickly, and he has a very high IQ.
Yeah,
Inventive.
very inventive. Yeah, he
That's
could
That
go.
makes
good.
sense.
He could go far.
He's sweet. There's something very sweet
Yes,
about
he's
him.
very gentle. Very gentle.
Oh, what was that?
That's my kitten. Oh, that's one of my cats.
Aw.
Kathy A says,
That's-
"Thank you."
Oh, he wants to get out of the room. You're welcome, Kathy.
So,
Let me out
Joanna,
of
how
this
does
room.
everybody get a hold of you?
Oh, they could get me on Facebook. Just make me your friend. Go to Joanna Garfield McNally on Facebook, or give me a call. Text me 631-836-7666. That's the best way.
Interesting.
Call me, text me, and send me a message. Just let me know when you're sending me a message where you got me from. Where we met
Yeah.
and how we met. So that way I respond. Otherwise, I'm not going to.
Yeah, you're like me. If I don't know, I don't respond. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Well,
that
thank you.
door is always open, right? So
Thank
you're more
you.
welcome
Yes.
back
Yes.
anytime.
Thank you.
Angela, do you have any few words you'd like to say before we wrap up?
I thank everybody for joining us. It's always nice to see everybody, and I always enjoy myself. And thank you very much.
And from
Thank you
coast
for
to
the
Thank you,
coast,
Angela. Great
opportunity.
seeing you.
around the world. Good
Grizzly,
night,
thank
everybody.
you. Good night, everyone.
Thank you.
Have a great
Good
week.
Bye bye.
Bye.